In this video, I will go over the basic components of the Studio Pro Dynalite Flash Generator and what they are used for. In a following video, I will go more in depth about the Dynalite components, functions, and how to use them. The Dynalite is the main power source and control for all lighting equipment used in our imaging process. On the Dynalite, there are about 12 different components, but only about 4 or 5 main functions that you will be using. These functions include power control, connections to extraneous hardware, lighting intensity control, controls for lighting equipment, and several miscellaneous functions. Some background information about the Dynalite: it uses a voltage of 120 volts AC, a maximum wattage of 1600 watts per second, and a recycling speed of 1.2 seconds when at full power. For the function of your main power control, the main power switch is located on the bottom left-hand corner of the Dynalite, and as you can see, it is a red switch that is turned off. Your lighting equipment will not function if the Dynalite is turned off, so each time you begin your imaging process, you need to turn the Dynalite on. For the function of your connections to extraneous hardware, at the top of the Dynalite, this is our connection to our main power source. This can be connected to any outlet that you have available, but a good rule of thumb is to try and not use the same outlet that you are using for your computer and your imaging equipment. This will help prevent your systems from crashing. On the top front of the Dynalite, these are the 4 head outlets which connect to all of your lighting equipment. So you can have a maximum of 4 lights connected to the Dynalite at any one time. As you can see, the furthest right head outlet is currently connected to a light, and since we have 3 additional head outlets, 3 more lights could be connected if we so wish. A thing to remember: because there is an immense amount of energy stored within the Dynalite, always be careful when dealing with the head outlet, as you run the risk of being caused harm. At the bottom right-hand corner of the Dynalite, this is our sync connection. This allows the Dynalite to be connected to our camera system. So when the camera takes a picture, your lighting equipment will know when to flash. For the function of your lighting intensity control, the 2 main functions are 2 power switches. These allow for 6 combinations in your lighting intensity. For each switch, there is full, half, and quarter intensity, with full being the highest, quarter being the lowest, and half being in the middle. Each switch controls half of the Dynalite, so switch A controls the 2 head outlets on the left-hand side of the Dynalite, while switch B controls the 2 head outlets on the right-hand side of the Dynalite. The knob that is located directly beneath power switch A, that is labeled power variation, this is our variator knob. This allows for fine-tune exposure adjustments within your lighting intensity of these 2 main switches. It is currently turned to full, which is the highest intensity, but if we were to turn it clockwise to -2, that would be the lowest intensity. The switch that is located on the right-hand side of the Dynalite, labeled ratio and combine, this controls whether our lighting intensity will be symmetrical or asymmetrical. If the switch is turned to ratio, this is our asymmetrical setting, as whatever your 2 power switches say, any lighting equipment connected will have that same intensity. So for example, our power switch A is turned to half intensity, while power switch B is turned to quarter intensity. So any lighting equipment connected to A would have half intensity, while any lighting equipment connected to B would have quarter intensity, causing our lighting to be uneven or asymmetrical. If the control is turned to combine, however, this is our symmetrical setting. It takes the intensity from A and B, it combines the 2, and evenly distributes it between the lighting equipment. So all of your lighting equipment will have equal lighting intensity. Typically, combine is the main function that you will use in your imaging process, but ratio is there if needed. For the function of our lighting equipment controls, one of these controls is the model delay. Each time that your camera takes a picture, your lights will always flash at the same time. Then they turn off and turn back on again. Your model delay controls when your lights turn back on again after flashing. So if the model delay is turned off, immediately after your camera takes a picture and your lights flash, your lights will turn back on again. But if the model delay is turned on, which could be 1, 2, 4, or 8-second settings, there will be a corresponding time lag between when your lights flash and turn off and when they turn back on again. So for example, our model delay is currently turned to 8 seconds, so if we were to take a picture and our lights would flash, there'd be an 8-second pause between when our lights flash and when they turn back on again. This same principle applies to the 1, 2, and 4-second settings. The two controls that are located on either side of the model delay and below it, these are our dimmer slide switches. These allow for accurate pre-visualization of our lighting. Basically, these turn our lights on and off when they're not being used to take a picture. However, each time that you do take a picture, it doesn't matter what settings your dimmer slide switches are on. Each time you take a picture, your lights will still flash regardless. Some of our miscellaneous functions, the Ready Test button, which is located in the bottom right-hand corner of the Dynalite, this is primarily used to dump extra energy and to signal when the flash is ready. The audible ready indicator, which is located directly beneath the main power switch, when turned on, this beeps when your flash is ready or recharged, but it is not necessary for your Dynalite to function. Two other miscellaneous functions, the radio and slave functions, for our imaging process, these will not be needed. So these are the basic controls and functions of the Studio Pro Dynalite Flash Generator. In the following video, I will go more in depth on these functions and how to actually use these controls.